This May the 27th picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by EdgeBoost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus. Welcome everybody to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Today is Monday, May the 26th. We are here to handicap a full slate of MLB action for Tuesday, May 27. Joining me from somewhere in North Carolina is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, is it a holiday day for you there? It's a bank holiday. Yeah, you got a holiday as well. What's going on?
Yeah, it's Memorial Day, so it's been the weather's not cooperating, but it is a day off, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, man, we got some good games starting up. We already had some baseball. I know you enjoy the baseball as much as anybody. But yeah,
well, I do. But I tell you what, I haven't enjoyed today is Charlie Morton playing like an actual, real live MLB pitcher, because I was trying to be a little bit clever and I added the Cardinals runs from 4.5 upwards, I think, and we're sitting top of the 8th now with 2 runs scored. Yeah, Morton was with his 7.71 ERA, was lights out through 6 innings, so that was a load of bollocks. Didn't enjoy any of that. No, it's a bank holiday today, but I don't know what for. I've got no idea. But I was at football yesterday, had a couple of beers, etc. So I've been quite happy doing next to nothing today. I've just watched a film with the IT department. I've got no idea at any point what was going on. I'm terrible at watching movies, Lonte, as you can imagine. It was Will Smith and, what's that blonde? Margot Robbie. It was them two. I got no idea what was happening. 2 hours, I just couldn't follow it, even the slightest. But she's quite easy to look at, so I didn't mind that. Some things have caught my eye, Lonte. I want your opinion on one or some of any of these. Tarek Skubal through a Maddox, which is pretty good. Shohei Ohtani facing live batters. Ohtani's nearly back pitching. That's exciting. Philadelphia suddenly streaking. They're at the top of the power rankings all of a sudden. Or O'Neill Cruz hitting the absolute shit out of that ball at 122 miles an hour for the hardest ever StatCast home run. Anything caught your eye much this weekend?
Well, I mean, a lot of those things did, especially I think the Shohei pitching is the most important, because the Dodgers are going to need him pitching wise. They're dealing with a lot of guys in and out of lineup, a lot of inconsistency. And granted, he won't be asked to pitch 6-7 innings, but just the threat of him being out there, being comfortable pitching and different things like that just adds another dynamic to the Dodgers that other teams aren't really happy for. I will say that the Phillies, really good run by them. I think they've won 9 of 10. I think a lot of it is schedule based. They're not facing a ton of good teams, but they're taking advantage of that. And O'Neill Cruz, I mean, my God, him and Ellie De Cruz are some type of talent. It just sucks that they're both in purgatory with those franchises.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's not much fun, is it?
Yeah, Tariq is great, man. Tariq is great.
There's a few faces in the chat. If you are in there, by all means, say hello. Callum's a regular on the Premier League show. Callum is in. Hiya, Cal. We're doing the show in 1 hour from now, 11 o'clock local time, where me and Baz are doing the Premier League show, reviewing it was the last weekend of the season this weekend. So the Premier League is now finished until August the 16th. It's a bit of a drawback. And Eli is in as well. Eli wanted some home run picks yesterday, but I drank too much beer, Eli, and I did just tell you that rather than trying to pull one out. I just explained that alcohol had been taken, so that's the end of that. And we got a full card for Tuesday. There is no days poll, unfortunately, but not to worry. We'll get going once I tell you that the SGP guys are going to be ripping packs live on air next Monday night, whatever that means. They'll be breaking a case of, I should have read this before, a case of Panini Prisms with DAPS and you can get 10% off your favourite team with promo code SGPN. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break to get in on the action. Lonte, did you understand any of those sentences that I just said?
I mean, I did, because I hear about a lot of people doing certain things like with cards, but do I understand like the value or the intrigue by it? No. But
is it baseball cards, football cards?
Well, yeah, I think it's a combination of all three. I think you can buy in packs of MLB, NBA, NFL. I'm not sure if they come together or if you got to buy them separate, but I know for sure that some of those cards are worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's kind of confusing as to which card is worth what. But so yeah, I'm not into it. I don't. Those guys have got too much money, man. They can do stuff like that.
It sounds dangerous. It sounds like the sort of thing I would get right into. So I'll try my best not to. But it sounds fun. Get involved with Sean and Ryan, etc. 6:10 Eastern first pitch is the LA Dodgers at the Cleveland Guardians. Dustin May goes for the Dodgers. For the Guardians, it will be Tanner Bybee. Minus 125 for the Dodgers, plus 105 for Cleveland, and the total sits at 8.5. The Dodgers are hanging on to a one-game lead now in the West, which is it's a bit of a Wild West situation. The Padres are scuffling a little bit. Arizona was scuffling a little bit. The Giants are hanging around. They haven't been very good today, unfortunately. Only 500 on the road so far. And the Dodgers just proving to be far from infallible. You just mentioned their pitching situation, and that Shohei Ohtani will have to step up just to try and improve because of the amount of injuries they've had. Dustin May is really struggling on the road. He's been another problem for them. 5.40 ERA in 4 games started on the road. Tanner Bybee, through 7 scoreless last time at Detroit, has a 3.57 ERA in a 1.21 whip. I've got no problem with that. A 1.46 home ERA for Tanner Bybee. In Cleveland, a 14-8 at home. So wherever you looked along this game, you were just putting ticks in boxes for Cleveland. And they're small underdogs as well. I think we've got a wrong team favourite here. Or certainly if we haven't got a wrong team favourite, there's not much between them at all. I think Cleveland are very live here at plus 105, Lonte.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. You broke it down really well. The Dodgers 4-6 in the last 10. They lost 2 of 3 to the Mets. Probably could have lost that. Probably could have got swept in that first game, but they got it done in extras. May's hit rate's been a bit high. You talked about his road struggles. 4+ earned runs in 2 of his last 3 on the road. 22 hits in that span. Cleveland's coming off a 3-series road trip. So they'll be back at home where they're comfortable, 4-5 in that stretch. I like the way Bybee's been playing. He gives them good length, and if you look at what he's doing at home, 4 combined earned runs in 4 home starts. So he's pitching extremely well. I think Cleveland's live as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they go off the favorite. So I like Cleveland here. Actually, some money had came in on them. They were plus 110 earlier, and now they're down to now they're down to almost even money. So I think we're on the right side there.
Yeah, hopefully some Lonte expecting some money to come in there on the Cleveland Guardians. Next game on the slate is a 6:35 Eastern first pitch between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Baltimore Orioles. It is Andre Palante for the Cards. For Baltimore, it will be Tomoyuki Sagano. Minus 115 Baltimore, minus 105 St. Louis. Total Lonte is 9.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something that I haven't done I think since we've been doing the show. I'm going to take Baltimore at home. I know they have lost 7 of 10, but they've had back-to-back wins versus Boston. I prefer Sagano over Palante. I mean, Palante, the bulk of his starts have been on the road, and he has been pitching well along with the way St. Louis has been playing. But I think Sagano has been pretty underrated. He pitches deep into games. He's had 2 or less earned runs allowed in 4 of his last 5. He's got a low K rate, but he pitches to ground balls. And I think Baltimore, if they can keep the ball in the park, I think they're pretty good. The offense has been trending upward. They have 5+ runs in 5 of their last 6. St. Louis a little bit better at home, a lot better at home than they are on the road. So I'm going to go with Sagano here at home. Short. I think the price is about right. I don't think it's short at all. I think it's about right. But I also like the over as well. I think both offenses will be able to put the ball in play. And if Sagano is, if the defense behind him is not good, then that could lead to some trouble. But I'm going to bank on Baltimore outscoring St. Louis here. I think we get like a 6-5 type of game right here, Mel.
I feel like this is a big week for Baltimore. They've won 2 in a row. They are on the verge, as we speak, of making that 3. The lead St. Louis 5-2. And they've got a kind of a home stand in which you'd expect them to go well. They've got the White Sox coming in later this week. So if they can put together a 5-1, 6-1 kind of stretch, they might just start to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And Sugano's really been one of the only spots where you feel like you can back Baltimore. They have won 6 of his starts. Andrew Plante is really steady, not quite as sharp on the road, but St. Louis is still playing okay. We're only 2 games back of the Cubs and 7-3 in the last 10. That's going to go 6-4 in a few minutes' time by the looks of it. But there's some quite strong stats to the first 5 under Lonte here. Sugano starts at 8-1 to the first 5 under, and Palante is 5-4. While St. Louis straight up at 19-14 to the first 5 under. So lots of trends there. So I was happy to stick with that. I'll take the first 5 under. Next game is a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the San Francisco Giants and the Detroit Tigers. Logan Webb goes for San Francisco. For the Tigers, it will be Jack Flaherty. Tight again. We've started the card here with 3 tight games on the books. The Giants are -120. The Tigers are +100. And the total here is set at 7. So again, another game that we've seen the start of the series this afternoon. And I feel like the game that's just finished is the one that set the tone for the series. The game finished 3-0. Was it 3-0? 3-1, sorry, in favour of the Tigers. It was Montero against your mate Hayden Birdsong. And that just looks like a blueprint for the rest of this series. It's kind of all about run prevention, really, with these teams. We're going to see some good starting pitching, exampled by Flaherty against Webb here. The teams are sort of top 5 for run prevention, top half for ERA, things like that. So Logan Webb actually had a rare bad home start last time out. I don't know if that was me and Dylan or me and you last week, but we took him and he cost us in that spot. There's not much wrong with his road form either. The Giants are much more reliable at home. They haven't been swinging a great bat, and I prefer to bet them at home. Flaherty's been pretty average, but I think his whip's really low, and that tells me his ERA is a little bit too high, and he can go well. Detroit at 18-8 at home. I just watched that game, and there's a little bit of recency bias because I did just watch the Giants swing and miss at a lot of things today. I think Flaherty can just edge out Webb here. It'll be close. The total's about right. I think we see a low scoring series, but I'm going to take Detroit again. Small underdogs here, even money. Surprised at that, Lunty.
Yeah, I couldn't get a real handle on this game. I think it was probably about properly priced, just depending on what you prefer. I mean, Detroit's been pretty dominant at home. San Francisco's offense has not been good as of late. But Webb, he allowed 10 hits versus Kansas City in his last start, so he's looking to bounce back from that. Despite that, he's allowed 3 or less earned runs in 4 straight. His hit rate has been higher than what you want it to be, but he's not been allowing a ton of runs. It's decent on the road. And Flaherty's lost 6 of his last 7 starts. He had allowed 10 home runs in those 7 games, 8 earned runs in his last 2 home starts. So he's trending downwards. I think he has to be a little bit better here. I'm gonna take a swing with the Giants on the road. I mean, they're 6-4 last 10. They've been kind of alternating wins and losses over the last few series. Detroit's 500 over the last 10, so not much separation there. I'm gonna take a swing with San Francisco. I think we see a low scoring game. Like another 3-2, 3-1 type of game.
Okay, on different sides of that one. Next is a 6:45 Eastern first pitch between the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. Spencer Strider will go for the Braves, and left-handed pitcher Ranger Suarez for the Phillies. So normally a bit of a marquee matchup here. -105 Atlanta, -115 Philadelphia, and the total Lonte is 8.
Yeah, man. People have been betting this as well. Atlanta opened up like +105, and they got those got took out real quick. And I agree with it. I mean, Philly, we talked about earlier. They were on a streak, 9-1 last 10. But like I was saying, the quality of competition has not been good. I mean, they faced the A's, who have lost like 15 of 16. They faced Colorado. They faced Pittsburgh in the last 3 series. So not a who's who right there, but they still have been playing well. So I give them credit. Walker's been steady, doesn't give a ton of length, low K rate, which is something that I think Atlanta can kind of expose here, because they've been hitting the ball extremely well as of late over the last 10. They're like above 280 hitting the ball. Strider's looking for his first win. I think he's getting back to himself. He hasn't had a lot of swing and miss stuff. His contact rate's been a bit higher than normal, but again, he's had some success against Philly. Atlanta's took 2 of 3 against Philly in early April, kind of when they were on that skid, and they've won both by 2 runs. So I think Atlanta is going to be the side here. They do struggle a little bit with lefties, but I think they can get. I think that was early on in the season, which is weighing down those numbers when they weren't playing extremely well. They got a jolt of energy over the weekend with Acuna coming back. So I'm going to take the Braves on the road to kind of end that streak that Philly's been on.
Yeah, this for me kind of hinges on whether you want to take advantage of the fact Strider's been poor and you want to keep fading him until he puts it together, or you see an opportunity on the price being better on Strider because he hasn't been great and you want to get him before the books catch up with him. I came down in the former camp here. 2 average starts and 2 losses. So I'd just have to prefer to wait until he shows it. Suarez has been very good in his last 3. 2 of them have gone scoreless. Philadelphia are 9-1 in the last 10. And it's the prices, Lonnie. I think the prices are too close together because of the name Strider. That's what's making this an interesting matchup from a bookie's point of view. So because that name's on there, I think you have to try and take advantage of Philadelphia at -115. So we'll have a conflicting bet on that one.
We've been battling all show.
Yeah, not very helpful for everyone, let's be honest. Roberto has joined us in the chat. Roberto likes my Diamondbacks cap. My Diamondback, the red's popping. I think it's the light off my I've got my phone light going here, but it's nice. It's a nice bright scarlet there. I'm enjoying it. We'll move on and I'll tell you about Edge Boost. It's the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And Underdog is going along for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. Next up is a 7:05 Eastern first pitch between the Minnesota Twins and the Tampa Bay Rays. Joe Ryan will go for the Twins. For the Rays, it will be Taj Bradley. It's -125 Minnesota, plus 105 Tampa Bay, and the total here is at 8. 3 earned runs from Joe Ryan last time. Really was an outlier for him. 2.65 ERA, a 0.81 whip. That'll play on the season. That's absolutely outstanding. Faded Bradley last time out against Hunter Brown, it was, of Houston. He just isn't consistent enough for me to want to bet him. I like him, but every time I think he's going to put it together, he doesn't. I can't trust him enough. The Rays are going well. They've got a 5-game winning streak going. It's actually propelled them into second place in their division. Both teams are over 500 to the under. There's lots of red in the offensive metrics of both teams as well. I like Ryan a lot. I'm going to have to trust Bradley to keep this down, but I'll take it under 8, Lonte.
Man, hey, listen, we agree here. You know, this is this open 8.5. I think it got bet down. It might be some juiced 8.5 still up there, but I like the under as well. And if I had to make a play on the side, I would probably go with Minnesota. But I think both pitchers will be able to go well. Minnesota, despite some fluctuation at the top of the lineup with Buxton and Correa, but I think Correa is back, but Buxton's still out. I think he's on 7-day IL now. But both of those guys started out on 10-day ILs with concussions. They collided with one another right in the middle of their streak. So I think they've still been steady at 1-7 of 10. Ryan's been really, really good, man. 1 or less in 3 of his last 4 road starts. He's got under 5 hits allowed in 5 straight, 1 earned run or less in 4 of his last 5, period. And Tampa, man, much to my chagrin, they've been really well. I've been fading them pretty much for a while here, but they've won 5 in a row. They've won 7 of 10. Bradley's been steady. He's allowed exactly 2 earned in 4 of his last 5. He's got a low hit rate as well, under 5 in 3 of his last 4. He pitches well at home. So, I think we can get a really low-scoring game here, man. This might finish 2-1. So if you want to if you want to split your unit, split your unit size and go like first 5 under. I've been betting some first 3 unders, Mal, if you want to really get into degenerate land.
Nice.
Yeah, if you bet some first 3 unders with these two pitchers who are really going well, or if you want to fade a specific, like 2 bad offenses or whatever the case may be, those first 3 unders have been really good to me. But I'll be on the first 5 under. I'll be on the full game under with you. Minnesota's under in 7 of 10. Tampa's under in 6 of 10. So I think both teams' offense is trending about mediocre. But again, I think the pitchers can dominate in this specific matchup.
Those first 3 unders are great for me because I want to go to bed a lot of the time. Yeah. It's like, right, I have 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes. I'll have a winner. I'll go and sleep easy. You're probably aware that I've got history of being quite bad at the IT side of things. I've just realised, Lonte, that I'm broadcasting this live on Dylan's Twitter page because I thought Dylan was doing the show, not you. So if anyone who's on Dylan's Twitter has just come across these 2 random blokes, welcome. Join in, have a lovely time. Say hello to Dylan for us next time you see him. Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry, Dylan. Where are we going? Back to the top. 7:10 Eastern first pitch is the Chicago White Sox. At the New York Mets, it is Shane Smith for the White Sox, and Tyler McGill will go for the Mets. Plus 210, Chicago White Sox. Minus 260, the Mets. And the total here is at 8. Shane Smith is still my guy. Still going okay. 5 starts with a 2.10 road ERA. It's not a fluke. You're not fluking those numbers over 5 starts. Mm-hmm. The White Sox are 5-21 on the road, which makes it hard to try and factor them in, even if you think Smith's going to go well. That's not a promising number. Tyler McGill isn't going much length still and looks kind of vulnerable, but at home is where he does his best work. And everything here points to the under. There's all sorts of numbers to the under. White Sox first 5 against righties, 23-14-2. The Mets 28-10-1, same category. Really strong numbers. And they suit my narrative because I like Smith. And I think McGill can hold this week, the White Sox offense. So I'll take a first 5 under, Lonte.
Yeah, and you know what? I think you hit on something when you were talking about the home number. I think the Mets in general, along with McGill being at home, I think the Mets in general play a lot better when they're at home and that crowd is behind them. We saw it this weekend whenever they had a big series against the Dodgers. It's when they go on the road where they struggle a ton. But still, I like the way the White Sox played this weekend. They played the Rangers really, really tough. I think they took 2 of 3, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or maybe they won 1 of 3. I don't know, but they were really feisty in that series. Shane Smith, I'm really a fan of. He's been solid, 2.36 ERA, 49-18 K to walk ratio, 2 or less earned runs allowed in 5 of his last 6 games. So like you said, not a fluke. And if you want to expand that even more, he's really good on the road, 2 earned runs or less in 4 or 5. McGill, a bit up and down. He has at least allowed 4 earned in 3 of his last 4, but they were against pretty good offenses, and I wouldn't classify the White Sox as a good offense. But Listen, man, I'm going to take the White Sox here full game at that big number. I understand the Mets being favored at home, but this is a big number for McGill, who doesn't give a ton of length. The bullpen for the Mets it was better early. It's been rocky ever since. So I think the White Sox can play it tough here. I'm going to take the +1.5 as well. But I think the White Sox can shock the Mets here in this specific game. I think they're up 1-0 right now as well. So they're going to continue to be feisty.
Yeah, I've just put that game on. My Cardinals bet has gone toast. So I've flicked it over to the White Sox and the Mets. I might try and have some live action next time you're seeing something. Joe Dollars joined us in the chat. Joe is trying to needle me about Newcastle. Well, it won't work, Joe. You can shut up. I'll discuss this with you in an hour on the Premier League show. Joe also, though, is sulking over his Charlie Morton bet, which is exactly what I did, Joe, so we're on the same boat. And AOD, welcome along, SGPN forever, says AOD. I'll agree with that. AO, cheers. Where are we going? Next up is a 7:40 Eastern first pitch between the Cincinnati Reds and the Kansas City Royals. Brady Singer is confirmed for Cincinnati. For Kansas City, officially TBD. I think it's going to be a call-up debut for a rookie called Luinda Avila. Not a rookie that we know an awful lot about, but I've done a little bit of homework. I'll try and tell you what I can. The Royals are -105, the Reds -115, and the total sits at 8.5. Cincinnati are on the naughty step. I took them in Survivor last week. They only needed to win half of their games. So if they'd won last night, they would have been fine for the week. And they were 8-3 up when I checked. I thought, laughing. And they got beat, didn't they? They got turned over 11-8. So that's my second strike in 3 weeks in that Survivor. So I'm down to one strike now. I'm going to have to be very, very careful. Singer still not really on board with him. 488 ERA, 135. With 666, the number of the beast, ERA on the road. He just can't put together a full start. He put together a couple of good outs, a little run, half inning here and there. But he just can't run up a sequence like Avila, if it is indeed him, getting the call from AAA Omaha, has got some strikeout potential, but he walks too many batters. And he's just got a load of bang average numbers. He's kind of got season after season of mid-4 ERAs as he's come through the ranks. I just can't bring myself to bet him. Very often we like taking a rookie on debut to come up and spring the surprise. I can't have it, but I will take the over 8.5 if Avila is vulnerable. And Brady Singer, I'm not hugely keen on. I did want to mention Jack Caglione as well for Kansas City, who got promoted to AAA last week. He said about a gazillion home runs since. So we'll be seeing Jack Cag soon. But yeah, I'll take the over in this one, Lonte.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know how most people take like the debut of pitchers, but it could go either one or two ways. How I handicap it, either they're really good because there's not a ton of data on them against MLB competition, and you're just valuing it off AAA, AA, whatever the case may be, or it's really bad and they just get shelled. So I think this is a big series for the Royals. I see somebody in the chat was talking they're down 6-2 already, which is not good. So I thought Kansas City they've been kind of up and down. They'll go up a little bit and then they'll go down for a little bit, and then they'll go up a little bit and they'll go down a little bit. So not much consistent. And I don't really trust the Reds, especially on the road. I don't really like Singer at all. So I'm going to take a shot with the pitcher, and I guess I'm going to bank on him being just a little bit better than Singer, especially on the road. But Kansas City, I think they should be able to win this series. I mean, this is a tough one today if they can't come back from 6-2. But I'm probably going to take the Royals at home. They haven't been playing really well at home, but I'm going to take them to bounce back, especially after the 6-0. Oh, man, that's bad. So I'm going to take the Royals to kind of get some bounce back against the Reds here tomorrow.
7:40 Eastern first pitch is the Boston Red Sox at the Milwaukee Brewers. For Boston, it's the only TBD pitcher on the board officially. I haven't seen anyone at all for Boston. I know you haven't either, Lonte. Not a clue who's going to go tomorrow. Aaron Savale for the Brewers is confirmed. And we do have lines somehow. -120 for the Brewers. Even money Boston. Total Lonte 8.5. Can you give us much without a Boston pitcher?
Not really, but depending on who it is, I'll probably be on Boston. Milwaukee is another one of those teams who I just can't get a handle on. They're decent in certain spots, but in other spots they're just like where they're supposed to win, they just don't win, or they're not competitive at all. So I've been kind of staying away from Milwaukee. But the Red Sox are playing a little bit better. I know they lost the last two against Baltimore, but I thought they were competitive throughout the last few series. They're kind of rounding up in form offensively, but the pitching just has to be a lot better. I think they were expecting a ton more. I know a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for the Red Sox, but it just hasn't come to fruition. But I would take them at even money here, depending on the pitcher. But again, it's kind of hard to kind of say that without knowing the pitcher. But the Brewers, they haven't been like world beaters to me. So should they be laying this type of number? I understand they're at home, but I'm kind of just grasping for straws here, Mal. Maybe you got something for me.
Not an awful lot, mate, I'll be honest with you. Because not only is the Boston TBD Savali, we've got very little information on him. Joe likes over 5.5 Savali strikeouts. He's had one game back from injury. It was something to build on. I'll give him that. 4 innings, 2 earned runs at Pittsburgh. Coming off a bit of an odd season. He went okay last year with the Brewers after the Tampa Bay trade. He should be okay. But yeah, I've got nothing at all. It's really tricky, especially not seeing a Boston pitcher. I've just taken the unusual step, Lonte, of betting the Chicago White Sox. Even money in play. 1 run up. So I reckon by the time we finish this, there'll be at least 7-1 down. That's going to be my prediction. Let's see if the White Sox bullpen can hold on for us. Even money. That winning the game's nearly finished. Come on. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs, PGA, MLB, and just launched the WNBA. Rhythm knows you love it, which is why they include a 7-day free trial. Rhythm has got some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off monthly subscription. The promo code is SGPN25 and 50% off an annual subscription. Promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. What an incredible prize. This is your 12-person league. Can draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs. 2 nights stay at the Circa Resort and Casino for the entire league. $5,000 food and beverage credit when you're drafting at Stadium Swim. Limo transport, Legacy Club Party, Sportsbook bar credit, free bar. May the 5th to June the 30th, you can enter from sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA, and finally mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. Loads of locations are accepted. Deposit and payout are really quick using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. 8:05 Eastern first pitch. The Colorado Rockies at the Chicago Cubs. German Marquez will go for the Rockies. For the Cubs, it will be Kate Horton. Short price, holy mackerel. -320 for the Chicago Cubs. The Rockies are +260, and the total here sits at 8. If I'm just looking at these lines, you can't, Horton can't be a 320 favourite.
Yeah,
if you've given me a tenner and made me put it on someone, I'd have to put it on the Rockies. It's just a ridiculous price because Horton. Let's back to the top. German Marquez is entirely unbackable. He's given up 5 earned runs his last twice on the road. His ERA is now up to 11.12. Horton has looked better with every start. He was a bit of a talking horse, Horton. We're waiting for him to get better. Chicago scored plenty of runs over the weekend in Cincinnati. They've won 3-1 today against the Rockies in a Monday afternoon game. Like I say, you can't do much with Horton and the Cubs at -320. Chicago team total does seem achievable, though, doesn't it? For a team who do score runs against Marquez, who will give up loads. So, yeah, I'll take a Cubs team total.
Yeah, man, I absolutely agree with you. I think I've been handicapping the Colorado Rockies the same way. Teams are playing the Colorado Rockies the same way. It's either going to be the team total over or the adjusted run line. But you said something that I completely agree with. Horton should not be $3. I think that's more so a fade of Colorado. I don't think it has anything to do with Horton, although he's been, okay, he's in limited work. Not good, not great. He's just been, but I think it's just more so a fade of just how bad Marquez has been on the road. He has pitched well at home, though, in 2 of his last 3. He's got 1 earned exactly in 2 of his last 3 starts versus the Phillies and the Padres. I know the Padres were scuffling a little bit lately, but he's been horrific on the road, man. 5+ earned runs and 5 straight on the road. I'm going Chicago team total over in the first 5. I'll go with a Yerfy as well. I think they absolutely blast Marquez, especially after only scoring 3 runs today. I think they're going to really put up a monster number. If you, I don't know if you bet at Bet365, Mel?
Yeah.
I think they have markets up where they have a team with the most runs on the day, like leader in runs.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think Cubs will be a prime candidate for that. Colorado's allowed 7+ runs in 6 of the last 10. Chicago scored 6+ runs in 6 of the last 9. So I think this is going to be a good play for them. I think the Cubs absolutely mash Colorado and Marquez tomorrow.
That's a real D-gen bet, that, Lunty. I love anything like that. Well played. Lane, the great Gretzky, has joined us. Lane, welcome along. Everybody seems to agree that the Cubs team total is the way to play this tomorrow. 8:05 Eastern. First pitch, the Toronto Blue Jays at the Texas Rangers. Bowden Francis for Toronto and Nathan Eovaldi for Texas. -165 Texas, +140 Toronto. Total 7.5. Lonte.
Yeah, man. We talk about Toronto all the time, and I can't figure them out. I don't know if you can, Mel. Have you had much success betting Toronto?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and early on in the season, I stayed away from it. Like I wasn't betting them at all. And then this weekend, it kind of sucked me back in, and I bet them, and I got killed. They were swept. They were playing well until this weekend when they were swept by Tampa. They only scored 2 runs in that game, 3-game set. Francis, he's not been good. He's not gotten out of the 5th inning in 5 of his last 6. He's allowed 15 home runs this year, 4+ earned runs in 3 of his last 5. But Texas, man, Francis also has a high hit rate. But Texas, man, they got to find some offense somewhere. I don't know what they have to do, but they failed to score over 3 runs in 7 of their last 10. They were outscored 17-11 by the White Sox over the weekend. They were 3-7 in the last 10, 1-5 on a road trip. But their pitching is just so elite that they're in these games. Eovaldi, 1.60 ERA, 5th best in the majors, 0.79 WHIP, which is first. He's allowed 3 combined in his last 6. That's amazing. So, he's been really, really good, man. I'm going to take the under, and I would probably have to go with Texas, but I don't love it just because they cannot score, man. I don't know what they have to do, but they cannot score at all.
It is hard, yeah. They can be trusted at home, if anywhere. They're 17-10 at home. And obviously behind Eovaldi, we've mentioned, he's been absolutely bulletproof. Maximum 1 earned run in 6 in a row. Does need more help from the Texas offense. You're absolutely right. Bowden Francis got away with not too much damage against the Padres last time, but still a little bit wobbly. He did walk 3 batters. He'd been relatively poor before that. He'd been disappointed before that. -165, not really a working man's price. You just got to trust Eovaldi. I'll take a Blue Jays team total under because I didn't really trust Texas it could be a 2-1, 3-1 type of game. I think Texas might get us there 3-1. We like calling our shots, Lonte. So that's what we'll do on that one. 8:10 Eastern first pitch. The Athletics, I nearly said Oakland, but I stopped myself. The Athletics will take on the Houston Astros. Left-handed pitcher, JP Sears for the A's. Hunter Brown will go for Houston, who are minus 200. The Astros, plus 165. The Athletics, and the total is at 7.5. I sort of spotted a little bit of an anomaly in this one, in that Houston have barely seen any left-handed starting pitching. I think this is going to be the 7th time that they've seen left-handed starters this season. So whether JPCS can spring a surprise on them, will have to remain to be seen. But he got rocked last time, the last twice actually, for 10 earned runs. He's been better on the road. Houston aren't hitting that well against lefties, possibly because they haven't seen many of them. They're only hitting 228. Houston, they let us down last week. We mentioned Hunter Brown. It was the Taj Bradley game, and he was poor last time. But he's got a 0.96 home ERA, and that'll do the job here. But I do think CS can go okay. So I'm going to take an under in this game. I don't mind both bullpens here either. So I'll take it under 7.5, Lonte.
Yeah, I like under as well. Brown has been really good. He's allowed more than 3 earned runs only once this year. 2.04 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. He's coming in off 12 2/3 scoreless at home, so he's been really good at home. Although the bulk of his starts have been on the road. And you talked about the lefties that the Astros have I guess they haven't faced. But they've been hitting the ball well overall, 270 in the last 10. But they got weird numbers. So they're hitting about 223 at home. They're hitting 270 in their last 10, and they are hitting around 230 versus lefties. So they got weird number splits there. And Sears, I don't think he's been as bad. If you look, you talked about the 10 earned combined in his last 2. If you look at his previous 6, he's only allowed 9 combined. So he's been better overall in totality, but just not over the past few games. He's been solid on the road. I'm gonna take a shot with the A's, man. They ran into a brutal schedule. Like I said, I think I said this every time we handicap them. They just need to get out of this month and get into another month where they get some decent competition that they can face. They've been facing some of the top tier teams, and they've been getting smashed just like the top tier team should. So I'm going to take a shot with the A's. I think they can hang around here in a low scoring game out. I think 4-3? I think that's a good final. I'll take A's 4-3.
A's 4-3, happy with that. White Sox just left the bases loaded, Lonte. Not happy about that. 9:38 Eastern first pitch. New York Yankees at the LA Angels. 2 lefties going to the hill. In Carlos Rodon for the Yankees. For the Angels, it will be Tyler Anderson. Plus 155 home dogs, the Angels. Minus 185, the Yankees. And the total on T is 9.
Yeah, I love the under in this spot, man. Just both pitchers have been really, really good. Rodon's been one of the better stories of the year. 1 earned run or less in 3 of his last 4. He's had 4 scoreless outings in his last 7 starts. He's been really good. The Yankees offense, on paper, the numbers look good, but if you watch them, they're not really good on a consistent day in or night in, night out basis. They kind of just score a lot of runs in a couple of games, and then they score 2 or 3, which is evident because they've been under in 8 of their last 10, and they've won 8 of 10. So it's kind of you can kind of see the progression from their offense. It's not been trending up. It's been just staying steady. But I think Rodon will go well here. The Angels, they were let down. A big letdown this weekend after going on a surge. But I like Anderson as well. He allowed 9 runs on 13 hits in his last 2 starts, but prior to that, he's allowed 2 or less in 5 of the previous 6. He pitched well at home. I think both pitchers will be able to limit each other's offense. Rodon struggled against the A's, who we just talked about on the road. So I think he bounces back here. Not a ton of contact given up. So I'm going to go under. First 5 under, full game under, Mal.
Okay, we can both still win. I've got a slightly different player. Rodon has been good, you're right. He's throwing more good starts than bad. 2.88 ERA, fine on the road. No concerns with Rodon here. Anderson's been poor in his last 2 games. The Angels gave up 14 runs in those last two, but still won them both. You've just said how kind of streaky they are. They'll score no runs, then just explode. So Anderson's kind of got away with it, but the Yankees are hitting lefties really well. So I'm going to take the Yankees team total. So, yeah, if we could get a 6-1, 7-1, something like that here and cash that under. But also, the DGen play of the day is Tyler Anderson games are 9-1 to the Yerfie. 9-1. That's a big number, Lonte. So we'll take it Yerfie as well in that one. Next is a 9:40 Eastern first pitch between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mike Burrows for Pittsburgh. For Arizona, it will be Corbin Burns. D-backs are -260, Pittsburgh +210, and the total here is at 9. Just comparing these prices to the ones earlier on we saw, again, for the Rockies and Cubs. And, I mean, this looks a little bit more like it. This is what maybe a -260 favourite should look like. Mike Burrows has one start for Pittsburgh, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks against the Brewers. So I do worry for him here against this Arizona offense. Arizona haven't been playing very well. They have lost 5 in a row, but I think they'll be happier in this kind of position on this homestand. Corbin Burns has been much better lately. He's got a 1.48 home ERA. So as boring as it is, it would be an Arizona run line for me, Lonte.
Yeah, and I think the play of Corbin has been really better as of late. He's got 4 straight quality starts with 1.38 ERA in that span. In his last 5 starts, he's allowed 5 combined earned runs. He allowed 11 in his previous 5. 3+ in he's had 3+ walks in 3 of his last 5. So kind of needs to calm that down as well. I mean, I'm just into fading Pittsburgh, to be honest with you, Mal. I would go with you got to get creative in some of these if you want to lay this big number. So if you want to play Corbin to get the win and maybe just put his strikeouts, I don't know what it's lined at. I don't think those are out yet. But if you maybe just get him for 5+ Ks and then him to win the game, I think you can get a decent plus price or as close to even money as you can get with that. But it would be a fade of Pittsburgh every time they play, even when Skeens is on the mound, until further notice for me.
Until further notice. Corbin to record the win. It's a really nice angle in there, Lonte. I like that. The penultimate game on the show is a 9:40 Eastern first pitch between the Washington Nationals and the Seattle Mariners. Left-handed pitcher Mitchell Parker is confirmed for Washington. For Seattle, Logan Evans, officially TBD, but we believe it's going to be Logan Evans. With Seattle here at -150, Washington at +125, and the total sits at 8, Lonte.
Yeah, I like over. If it is Evans, he's got a high hit rate, 4+ earned runs, and 2 of his 3 starts on the road. Parker, fluctuating hit rate, 4+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5. He's also not going a ton of distance, under 5 innings pitched in 3 of his last 4. Washington is feisty, but Seattle was kind of right at the ship. They were going through a little lull there. And although they haven't been back to that peak of what they were, they've been a lot better. I expect them to come out and take care of business at home against a team that they should win against. 150 is a little bit out of my range. I wanted to be around 130, 125, 130. But 150 with a pitcher like Evans, who's, hit rate has been too high, and Washington in moments can hit in clutch situations. So I'm gonna go with the over instead and root for runs on both sides.
Mitchell Parker was slightly better last start. Still gave up 3 earned over 5 1/3. His May ERA this month, so this month's ERA is a level 8 in 4 starts. And 5.66 on the road, so I still can't really get involved in Parker. Evans has been up and down in his 5 starts as a rookie. I tried really hard to find a trend, over, under, first 5, whatever, and I couldn't do it. Everything was conflicting. It's interesting you mentioned the price here, Lonte, because my last note, which I made these this afternoon, was I'll take Seattle if somewhat shorter than -150, which is pretty much exactly what they've come out with -150, and you said you'd want them at -130, which was kind of my thoughts exactly. So shop around, and if I can find something a little bit better than that -150, Seattle would be the play. Final game on the card, 9:40 Eastern, between the Miami Marlins and the San Diego Padres. It is Max Meyer for San Diego, and Stephen with a PH Kolek will go for the Padres. -118 San Diego. The Marlins are +150, and the total is at 7.5. Max Meyer, he's fighting back from a bad run. We were right into Max Meyer a little while ago. 6 innings, 1 earned against the Cubs. Last start was much better. And hopefully he can back it up again, because we enjoyed watching him. We enjoyed betting on him. His 5.16 ERA is reflection of that little bad run that he had. Kolek was a bit of a darling for everyone early May. In fact, not dissimilar to how we felt about Meyer previous to that. But that subsided pretty quickly. 8 earned runs in his last 2 starts. It just looks like an over game. Both pitchers and both offenses are trending to higher scoring games. 7.5 Lonte. I've got to take the over.
Completely agree with you, man. I like the over as well. It's a big series for San Diego. I know they righted the ship. They got the win in Atlanta last night, but they got to play a lot better, man. They got to play a lot better. I know they started off completely hot. But this is a series that they have to win against a team that's, at the bottom of the MLB. We love Max Meyer. He's not performed well on the road. 10 earned runs his last 2 road starts combined. He is coming off the best start of the month, which is good for us for being Max Meyer truthers. But I mean, I think this is a San Diego smash spot. So I would take the -1.5 runs, because I think they'll be able to outscore the Marlins. The Marlins offense has been sneaky as of late, but I don't think they'll do enough against the Padres, despite Kolek being a contact pitcher and regressing a little bit. So I like the over as well. I would also go with the Padres -1.5.
Okay, thank you very much, Lonte. 15 games in the books. It is your turn. We are taking turns each, aren't we? It is your turn this week, Lonte, to lead us off with your lock and dog.
Yeah, so let me get updated prices, because what I had was gone from earlier. So let's go with the where are we? So this is going to be my dog, but now it's going to be my lock. Let's go with Atlanta -105 in Philly. I think Phillies took advantage of what was in front of them. The schedule that's in front of them, they had to play it, obviously. So they took advantage of it. They won 9 of 10 against weak competition. Atlanta's trending up. I think Strider is going to be better going forward. He should be able to get his swing and miss stuff back. He hasn't had a ton of Ks since he's been starting. I think he'll get back in the rhythm here. Pitches well against Philly. So I like Atlanta -105. And now am I going to do it? Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to take the White Sox.
Yeah.
+210. I'm gonna take Shane Smith to get things done. I mean, the price is just like McGill is not a -285. What is it? He's not -255 pitcher. He's not. And Shane Smith has pitched well. He's really good on the road. I want the first 5 even more. So if you want to split a unit on that, just judge it how you want. But I think the White Sox will be winning after 5, and then just gotta hope that bullpen doesn't blow it specifically. So let's go with a 2-1 dog for tomorrow. Let's go with the White Sox.
Okay, my lock is going to be the first 5 under in the Cardinals-Orioles game. Like Palante, Steady Eddie, and Sugano's been great for Baltimore, so I think those 2 could lock into a slow burner there. And my dog is going to be just a little puppy here, a little home puppy. It's Cleveland at home against the Dodgers, Bibee against May. There's just a lot of ticks in a lot of boxes for Cleveland. Bibee was great last time. very good at home. And Cleveland's home record is 14-8, really, really good. So I think they're live there at plus 105. And finally, Lonte, do you have a home run hitter for us?
Yeah, I do. Let's go with, let's see. Let's go with Wyatt Langford for Texas. We talked about them having to have. They have to have some kind of offense. And he's had a hit in 3 straight games, and 7 of his last 8. He just hasn't been able to hit a home run. He hasn't hit a home run since May 17th. So I think he's going to have a good effort here to hit one, simply because of the way that Francis has been pitching. 15 home runs allowed this year. He's a high hit rate guy. He's going to be Wyatt's at the top of the lineup, so he's going to see 3-4 ABs. I think he can take him a yard tomorrow. So let's go with Wyatt Langford tomorrow.
Okay, big fan of Wyatt Langford. I think at some point we had to try and get a fade of German Marquez into our picks. So we'll take a Cubs player, and I'm going to go with Seiya Suzuki. I love his walk-up song for a start, but also I think he was on the board hitting dingers over the weekend. So we'll take Seiya Suzuki there against Colorado. Lonte, I've got about 45 seconds before the Premier League show starts. So have you got anything you want to tell the people really quickly before we let them go?
No, I don't, man. Hopefully we got some winners on the show.
Right, okay. I'm going to make a cup of tea and I'll be back with the Premier League show in a little while. Myself and Dylan will be here tomorrow with more MLB action. Thank you very much, Lonte. Thank you, everyone who joined us in the chat. Thank you, everyone on Dylan's Twitter account. Hopefully we might have made some new friends. We'll see you all down the road. Cheers.